Welcome to our community. Susie Thomas with you this morning. Always a delight to welcome Miss Betty Smith. Good morning.
Good morning, Susie.
From Enrichment.
Yes.
And you guys are everywhere.
The drumline is, and in demand. Mm-hmm. Yeah, good thing.
What started as a drumline, and let's talk more about that, has begun to develop all kinds of areas of interest that these young people are having. Talk to me about how this is just mushrooming.
It's just mushroomed, and most people know us for our drumline because we're everywhere. But we also have classes in strings, woodwind, brass, and of course percussion classes. But we also have steel drums. They're called Jimmy Jams. And because we have our youngest little drummer he just turned 6. He started with us when he was 3.
Oh.
So when moms see this little drummer, they say, "Oh, I want my son or my daughter to do that." So now we have a little group that we started called the Sprouts.
Oh, I love it.
And they start at age 4.
Oh.
Yes, so they start at that age.
What a leg up they are having.
It's awesome. Then we have a hair braiding class.
I love it.
We have a sewing class.
Mm-hmm.
We have a garden. Oh, the kids love the garden. 7th and Fulton Road. And we're getting ready to do a butterfly garden.
Oh,
on 11th Street. We got a grant from the Women's Fund.
That anyone can come to?
Yeah. We're going to have a butterfly garden, and we're going to put a bench out there. We're going to start working on it next week.
Yeah.
And we also have we're getting ready to do a drumline workshop, and that's coming up May 26th.
Okay,
that's the orientation.
Who's eligible to participate?
Anyone that's age 9 to 20.
Wow,
they can participate, but we're hoping that they will join our drumline because we'll start in our camp, which we'll talk about later. But the Drumline Academy will start that May 26th, and then the next day is Labor Day, and our drumline will march in the Memorial Day.
Right.
They will march in the Memorial Day Parade downtown Canton.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
And then the day after that, we'll start our 4 days of our Drumline Academy workshop, and that will be Tuesday through Friday, and it'll be 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. So kids are still in school, so we'll do it,
right
after school. Yeah.
Where do the instruments come from?
People donate instruments. And the meeting I just left, the lady came up and she said, "I have a keyboard that my nephew says he just doesn't want to play. Can you use it?" Wow. And we get a lot of instruments because they're collecting dust, in somebody's house. And a lot of people donate. And then sometimes we get a grant and people will buy us new instruments.
So if you've got one of those kids who thought they really wanted to play the tuba, but they just changed their mind.
Exactly. Kids do all the time.
Yeah, they do all the time.
I got an electric guitar like that. The lady said, "My son never played this." He says, "Mom, I don't want to do that. I want to do something else."
Right.
So she brought us a brand new electric
How
guitar.
perfect. What a perfect way to donate to somebody who's definitely going to use it.
There you go. That's exactly right.
Where do you get people to teach all these different instruments?
God has really blessed us with some great instructors. Some of them volunteer their time, and then other times I'm able to raise money to pay them. And I have people that are retired. Mm-hmm. I think my oldest one, he just turned 75, and he plays brass. He can play any brass instrument. Oh, wow. And he's so good. He has so much patience with the kids. And now some of them are playing in their school band.
Oh, that's awesome.
We have a trumpet player he took trumpet from us, and he also was in our drum line. But when he went to his high school, they say he's our best trumpet player.
Oh.
So he plays trumpet, but he comes back to Enrichment to play drums.
Oh, my goodness. So,
so
getting the foundation at Enrichment is really preparing the kids to go on with it.
Listen, I tell you, they're playing strings, and those that have orchestras, they're playing strings. They're playing clarinet. They're playing flute. And as a result of being, in our program, which they never would have that opportunity because the parent couldn't afford the instrument nor the lesson.
Let me just throw this out there. You're making me think here because there are so many professional musicians who hail from this area. Right. Wouldn't they make some wonderful people to come back and do a little?
Most certainly. Very good, Susie.
Thank you. Okay.
And we need them.
All righty.
We need more instructors because, see, then we could get private lessons to some of the kids who might be a little slower than some of the others that we have in group session. So come on, you come out of retirement. Volunteer your time.
That's right.
Give back to the community. Be wonderful.
It'll keep you young like Miss Betty Smith. My goodness.
Right.
You got summer camp coming up.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Because everybody's excited that school's about to be out.
That's exactly right.
But we need to keep everybody involved in doing something.
Most definitely. And the summer Enrichment Summer Fine Arts Camp starts June 4th. And it goes for 7 weeks, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we end on July 18th. Now, for the youth that are ages 5 to 8, they leave at 1 o'clock. We found that keeping them all day was just a little bit too much. So last year they left at 1 o'clock, and that worked out really well. And then the ones that are older, they leave at 3, unless they're in the drumline or drumline dance, then they stay till 4:30.
What does a day look like? How do they spend their time?
We start out, of course, everybody gathers together and we sing and get everybody really hyped up and ready for classes. And they could go to a number of classes. They could, depending on the age, because we break them down 5 to 8, 9 to 12, and 13 to 18. We have 3 different age groups and classes. They might go to choir. They might take an instrument. They might go to an art class. They might go to poetry. Yeah, they might go to the garden, and all the kids love the garden. I mean, seriously.
And then they get to take food home that they've actually grown.
It's very educational. It's very getting them involved in a healthy lifestyle, watching them plant a seed that they say, it's not going to grow into anything, Miss Betty. And when they see the peppers and the tomatoes and the green beans and the carrots, it's exciting. And
let's peel that back a little bit, because you also are working with children who may not have had every advantage thrown their way
Most definitely.
out of the box.
That's right.
And to be able to teach the analogy of a little seed and to see putting it in the ground and caring for it, water it, give it some sunlight, and what happens watching it grow. You're doing that with these lives.
You know, and the kids love it, and they remember what they've learned, like in the ones that were with us last year. And we do indoor garden when we do Saturday classes, when the summer classes are over. They remember the seeds and you know, they love the soil. It's therapeutic.
Yeah.
And it's very good for my youth that have behavior problems or ADHD or autistic. The garden is pure therapy for them.
Isn't that something? What do you
amazing.
think? What is it about that?
You know what? I think it's just God in the earth, and the kids getting, and they love to get their hands dirty. Some of them don't even want to put gloves on. They love digging in the dirt. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I used to love that when I was a child too.
me
I love
too.
playing in the dirt.
Me
Right.
too.
So the kids love it. And some of them have their own little space. Like one young lady, she had a cabbage patch. She said, "This is mine. I planted all the cabbage." So we named the cabbage patch after her.
Love it.
You know, and then one of them planted carrots. You know, and then they work together in a group and plant things. They also paint the bricks. They paint the pallets. And, you know, they put down the compost and the mulch. They help with every inch of the garden.
You have a great way of leaving your fingerprint around the city that enrichment was here. So we see where that garden is, because
That's right.
and we see when they're practicing. There's that's how important is that, to have that visibility?
You know what? It is so important. And when you speak about the garden, of course, it's right on the corner of 7th and Fulton Road. And I've had so many people say, I changed my route to work so I could go by and look at that beautiful garden.
Love it.
And they really enjoy it when they see the kids in there in the summer. The kids planting and harvesting and everything. And they honk their horn. Sometimes they drop the traffic, you know, because they want to slow down and look at the kids or wave at the kids and everything. And so that's good. And it's the same thing when the drum line is out. Like we were just someplace last Saturday. And it's just that people come up and say, oh, they're so good. Oh, and they commend the kids. You know, that builds their self-esteem.
Yeah.
It is so good. Some of these are kids who said, oh, I can't do anything. Or the parent says, I don't know if they can do anything. Or they might be kind of a little depressed. Our kids get depressed.
Yeah.
And they might have a lot of challenges at home or at school because bullying goes on.
Yeah.
We've had kids with suicidal ideations. You know, we've had the gamut. You know, we have some kids that come to us, they have IEPs. And so we have to work with them. We work with that total family. You know, it's whatever the need is, we try to meet the need.
That's where I was just going with this. What impact of changing the lives of these young people, that is changing the whole trajectory of the family. What then happens in the family?
You know, it was last June, this family member pulled up and she said, we heard the drums. And my daughter said, Mom, we have to find out where they are. So they went around the corner in their block, and they were practicing in the parking lot by the Civic Center. And the daughter said, Mom, I really want to belong. So long story short is she joined the drum line. Then her twin sister joined the drum line. And then the parent said to me, you know, this was like 6 months later. She said, you didn't just help our children, you saved our family.
Oh, my goodness.
We were having difficulties, and enrichment has brought us back together. I was just.
What's that do to you?
You know, I really wanted to cry, but I didn't. And but she did cry.
Yeah.
And she said, "You'll never know what you did." And now they're so involved.
Isn't that
Wherever
something?
I need them, they say, "Just tell us, we'll do it." And I said, "Well, I don't want you to." She said, "You must let us help. This is our way of giving back." You know?
Incredible to see how just like a little pebble in the pond and how it
Yeah.
grows and spreads.
It
and
does.
You will
And
have
the
no
word of mouth.
idea.
No,
you know,
I really don't.
seriously.
You know, I see people and they say, "Oh, you have the enrichment program," and some of them don't. And we're still kind of a best kept secret. A lot of people still don't know about us.
You're good about
you
not
know?
keeping something a secret, though. Very
That's right,
gifted in
Susie.
it.
You know, so that's why I'm really grateful being on your show and letting more people know about the enrichment program and how they can get their kids involved. And it's free; it costs nothing.
Right. That's what's
Costs
amazing.
nothing.
Is how you've
because
been able
I
to
raise
make
the
that
money
happen.
by the instruments or the instruments are donated. The kids are always hungry, so we get snacks. I joined the Akron Canton Food Bank, so we can go up there and we can get food.
So they're getting
You know.
fed too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You mentioned the Women's Fund. Let's give them a shout out.
Oh yeah, Stark Community Foundation Women's Fund. Yes, money for the garden. Shout out to them. Also, shout out to Sisters of Charity,
Yes.
who gave us money for a graphic design. We have graphic design. Didn't tell you that.
Oh, my gosh.
We have a graphic design, and we have TV production.
Oh, my goodness.
We have more equipment now that's donated from the Wadsworth television show program and Canton City Schools that we have enough equipment now to have 2 TV studios.
Wow.
Yes.
So what are the kids' plans? They get to, from start to finish, script to screen, get to
and
figure it out.
Hopefully this summer they're going to start their own television show, a reality show or something
reality
fun
show.
that kids will want to tune into.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and I will give them my spot because I'm still on Canton City's television show, right? So I'm going to give them my spot so they could air their show.
Oh,
And they
everybody's
learn-
going to want to see this.
Yeah, they work the cameras, everything.
Yeah.
They're teaching them all of that. Plus the
So
graphic
is this
design.
all part of the summer camp or this is what all?
Well, this is Saturday classes also.
Okay.
But in summer, see, we have them 3 days a week.
Yeah.
So we have them longer. Then at the end of the summer, on July 18th, we have what we call our end of summer concert. So all the kids will perform. And this year, our theme is called On Broadway.
Oh,
So
how cool.
Each class will pick whatever the song might be. It might be from Annie, anything that's popular out there and I let them choose their own. And then they'll either dance, they'll sing, it'll be drama, it'll be a lot of things. And they'll play it on an instrument, a song. And they'll do this at the Cultural Center. We outgrew our space at the Education Center, Arts
Right.
and Stark. So we do it at the Cultural Center now.
Awesome. I think anybody who sees you, some kids might be a little intimidated because of the level of performance. I mean, it's not just banging on a drum.
No, it's
they
not.
are amazing
And
to watch.
they all have to learn to read music.
Wow.
Because see, when they go into their school, then they can read music.
Yes.
And so that's all the kids that come into our program must learn to read music.
So they are
It's
learning
vital.
it there. So at what
Almost
point,
definitely.
like if a child was like, boy, I'd really love to know how to do that, but I'm starting at square one.
It's okay. We let them start at square one because we have different levels. And even in the drum line, some of them come in not knowing how to hold the sticks. But then what I have are students teaching the beginners.
Oh,
Some of these students have
right.
been with me like 3 and 4 years. They're now teaching. I have a young man. He started with me it'll be 4 years. He now choreographs for the step team, and now he's in plays at the Players at the
Yeah.
Players Guild. He's in plays at his McKinley High School, and I just watch and I marvel. I said, "Wow!" When they came here, they just
Yeah.
It's like, what are they going to do?
But it says something now. It says something that I was trained in enrichment. That's got
Yes.
some credibility now.
Most definitely.
For sure. All right. We are visiting with Betty Smith from Enrichment. Going to talk about an exciting play coming up after these words. You're listening to Our Community.